Trust me, you don't want to live on Mars. But for a moment, let's pretend you do. Elon Musk said it's our future, right?
So eventually, all life on Earth will be destroyed by the sun. The sun is gradually expanding, and so we do at some point need to be a multi-planet civilization because Earth will be incinerated.
At night, on Mars, it gets below minus 100 degrees Fahrenheit if you live near the equator. If you live near the poles, then it can make it to minus 195 degrees Fahrenheit. The difference between standing in the sun or in the shade would be a choice between getting bombarded by solar radiation or having the blood freeze in your veins. Mars's atmosphere is so thin that it can't trap heat. What little atmosphere it has is 95% carbon dioxide. This thin atmosphere would be equal to about being 30 miles above the Earth. You would suffocate, and the extremely low pressure would cause your blood to boil, literally. So, make sure to wear your spacesuit. Sometimes Mars experiences sandstorms so large that they cover almost the entire planet. They can last for weeks, or even months. If you rely on any kind of solar power, then this lack of visibility will be a problem, and the storms will clog your equipment with sand. If you find yourselves nostalgic for a white Christmas, then head to the poles and brave the minus 195 degree temperatures to get a chance to see carbon dioxide fall as snow. It's the only place in the solar system that you could see that, but you're not going to need to bring your own lights because it's so dark out there that you couldn't even see the hand in front of your face. Mars is a corpse of a planet. There is evidence to suggest that once upon a time, about 4 billion years ago, Mars was a bit more like Earth and had oceans that covered the planet. Unfortunately, it was smaller than Earth, and its smaller mass led to its core to cool down. This cooling of the core caused the planet to lose its magnetic field, which are the forces that prevent solar radiation from stripping away its atmosphere. The more volatile, younger sun then proceeded to bombard Mars until the atmosphere is what it is now. To make Mars a habitable planet, it would require technology to terraform the planet that we could only dream about in even 100 years. Perhaps some kind of technology that would be able to jumpstart the core and re-engage, so to speak, the magnetic fields that it lost so long ago. Then we would only have to deal with somehow recreating a habitable atmosphere on the planet. These are fantastic concepts, but this level of advanced technology would probably need to be put to use here on Earth to help us survive the near-term issues facing humanity before we would need to worry about Mars. And no, the sun expanding is not one of those issues.
I'm hearing this for the first time. No one's ever told me the sun is going to burn Earth.
This is not a disputed fact.
I'm not disagreeing with it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I didn't know this was our destiny, to get roasted by the sun.
Yes, and I don't think there's anyone who would disagree with that.
So we have to set up plans to leave and spread out.
I mean, we have several hundred million years.
The sun growing into a red giant and consuming Earth is not happening for 7 billion years, not the 700 million that Elon says. I can think of a few issues humanity will likely want to prioritize before that happens. I think Elon Musk knows this. He's just really trying to live out his Warhammer 40k fantasy. You know, the Imperium of Man. I get it. It's really sick. Maybe Elon Musk can trade the hidden wisdom of his Elden Ring and Path of Exile 2 builds to the Eldari, and the humanity can then ascend to godhood.
Here I am, like, level 95, but my staff is only level 62.
Now, I might be getting a little ahead of myself here, but when Elon suggests humanity goes to Mars, I have often wondered who he means should go there. Will it be the uber-rich escaping a desolate, environmentally depleted Earth that is being torn apart by overpopulation, war, and mixed-race people? Or will it be the poor people who will be sent to Mars, the untouchables, the welfare queens? Perhaps Mars would provide an excellent solution to affordable housing. And by housing, I mean the box you arrive at the red planet on could be your house. Obviously, we had to put you in cryosleep to get there. Well, that's your house now. And you aren't leaving your coffin home because we're keeping you on ice until Technomechanicus IV, blessed is his name, has deemed you worthy enough to work in one of his off-world mining colonies. Oh, and if your name sounds vaguely Hispanic, we're garnishing your wages as a form of reverse reparations for your great-grandfather, who was probably part of that gang. The gang of marijuana leaf, dead smiley face Jesus zombie skull. If you have ties to this gang, you don't even belong on Earth or Mars, to be honest. We're just gonna ship you to some asteroid to mine dojonium. Everyone knowing Mars is a shithole, though, isn't really dissuading many of you from thinking it's humanity's future. I know that all you Warhammer 40k fans, flat earthers, and people whose favorite movie is Interstellar really want to believe in this grand vision for humanity's future. A vision where humans have lots of children and give them really edgy names, then make Earth uninhabitable so that future generations have no choice but to fuck off to some desolate orb that makes the summit of Mount Everest seem like a day spa, with only the company of their AI spouses to keep them sane. It's kind of like the sci-fi nerds version of the chapter of Revelations, where instead of getting to hang out with Jesus in heaven, you get to hang out with AI and Elon Musk's cloned children on Mars. Using the power of mankind's innovation and technology to send people to Mars instead of fixing Earth is kind of like when Thanos gets all the Infinity Stones, becomes the most powerful being ever, and then just decides that the best use of all that power is to just destroy half the universe's population. Listen, I don't know really what I'm talking about when it comes to Marvel films, but Thanos seems like a fucking idiot. I love the idea of space travel and going to Mars. Seriously, I do. Not to live, but to study and learn more about the planet. But I will forever have disdain for techno-feudal businessmen who prioritize their own selfish vision over their employees, the people on this planet, and the planet itself. They are eager to slap their brand on a cock rocket to send rich people to space, or persuade the government to award more contracts to SpaceX while slashing the budget for NASA, cutting funding to health and science and education and everything that you would think we would need to help humanity reach its full potential, or whatever those dystopian sci-fi nerds are fantasizing about. For a billionaire who may or may not have a savior complex, at best, I view Elon Musk's plan to bring us to Mars as a remarkably underwhelming vision for humanity, and more of a marketing move than a heartfelt desire to see humanity proliferate throughout the stars. At worst, he is evangelizing about how the Earth is going to get swallowed by the sun, as if that is remotely a concern of ours right now, but then using it to buttress this argument that I see so much in right-wing narratives these past several years. The world is broken. The world is unfixable. That's why we need to buy gold, buy ready-made meals, batten down the hatches, cut off immigration, and draw lines in the sand. And just like the people that believe in the Book of Revelations, they might not directly wish for the end times, but they certainly wouldn't get in the way of events that might hasten it. If humanity wants to survive just another 1,000 years, let alone millions, not as a few disparate tribes around the globe, but as an actual stable civilization that is moving forward and making progress technologically, I think we could write a list of issues to focus on a mile long before we come to the conclusion that, well, Earth is cooked, literally. Let's go to Mars, a planet with no atmosphere. I am sure that will be so much better. Hold on, guys, I'm getting a call. What's that? The James Webb Space Telescope just found an exoplanet populated by super hot cat girls with only 2 brain cells? Well, yeah, guys, I think I changed my mind. I think Earth is beyond saving. We need to think about humanity's future here, and I don't think Earth is the plan. The sun isn't going to swallow the Earth for a long time, but I think we better be safe than sorry on this one.
But I'm not afraid of dying. I think it will come as a relief.